I'm not even thinking about sound wave. I'm thinking about space time.
Oh, you are? Okay, so
Yeah, I'm
do
thinking about
tell.
the quantum aspects of it, where like time as an
Gotcha.
illusion,
Right. You're
that
right.
everything's happening all at once, and that we're
There's
just perceiving
there.
it as a separate set of events. And
You're right. That's a good point. That's absolutely it. And just because we don't understand these things or we don't have a value for them in our current society, it doesn't mean that they don't have value, or it
yeah,
doesn't mean that there's not some greater reality that someday when we're beyond the veil, we're like, duh, of course,
I mean,
you
what
know?
hypothetically, what if we evolved? What if like your great 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 grand nieces or whatever evolved, right? And in such a way where they could create sort of a rent in the fabric of space time and listen to that thing that you played by yourself.
Oh
Wouldn't that be, wouldn't you want to perform for yourself a little bit more?
my
Like,
gosh, Eric, that is the coolest thing.
this is why it
Oh
takes me
my,
so long to finish projects. Because I'm always like philosophizing these ideas about reality.
my gosh, that is so. But see, this is something that I'm so interested in, and it's is our true human technologies that we know are there, but we haven't tapped in. And I've never thought about that one. But yes, of course. Like,
Oh, we
why wouldn't
totally
that
have.
be? Like remote viewing,
No, that exists.
yeah, it exists now,
That
but
bug
what
is
if
in my
that's like,
family. It's in my genetics.
no way.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. My mother saw me when she was 11 years old in a recurring dream that she had up until the scenario of that dream transpired. Yeah. She knew who her husband was going to be when she was a kid. And when he
Interesting.
married his first wife, she walked over to him and kicked him in the shins. She's like, "This isn't how it was supposed to go." And she ended up being his second wife.
That
My
is
sister
so.
has had some weird shit. Actually, at some point, I don't know if I was going to do it on this podcast or on the channel in general or at all, but she sent me a letter. My mother sent me a letter when I first moved to New York in '03. She's like, she detailed a list of all of her extrasensory perceptions that she's ever had.
Wow.
And then at the end, she goes, plus there was this really horrific recurring dream I had about your father, but I don't want to talk about it. And I'm like, fuck. I'd have no idea what it could have been. But I mean, and
You never found out.
almost all of it concerned me. There's something about me. I'm special. But
Well, but that's mothers, though.
the other thing, too, is my sister has it. She doesn't talk about, she's not as open about it. I try to get her to talk about it. We do quarterly brunches, but we don't really have time to go that deep into that kind of thing. But sometimes I'll have these weird moments where I'll have a waking dream where something's being said to me by somebody. So, for example, there was this one instance where I was in this waking dream and we were at St. George Terminal in Staten Island, and Jan was telling me a specific thing about something that was said at work that week. Later that afternoon, that scenario transpired. And I predicted what she was going to say. And
Mm-hmm.
because of that waking dream, and it's happened a couple of times, and it's happening more and more as I learn to meditate. I've been learning how to meditate.
Right.
And Lyndall, there's some crazy fucking shit in this universe that you can tap into if you learn to meditate.
Oh, I listen, I know, brother. I've been I've been doing some of that myself.
It's like
And
awakening. It's almost like exercising this, because I get headaches here when I start getting these flashes now, these
mm,
flashes of light, and then I'll have these. I don't dream as an adult. I don't dream, and if I do, I don't remember them. I'm now
mhm.
not only remembering my dreams, but they're more as more real as they've ever been, and not they're not all grounded in reality. Like some of them are, I guess they would be horrifying to some people. I find them quite entertaining
Mhm. Yeah.
because I'm entertained by like, I guess, terror. But yeah, there's just something about like meditation that awakens a part of the brain, and I think there's an evolution. an evolution that we could put ourselves on as a species, where we're tapping into something that science and the academic process is not ready to recognize as there.
No, I completely agree with you. And I had some out of body experiences when I was in my early 20s, that were not, and I always had like kind of like really intense dreams. Often would know something that was going to happen before, but I wasn't trained in it. And it actually really messed me up too, because
It
sometimes
will.
I couldn't tell if I had a bad thought, was that a premonition? Does that
Yeah.
mean it's going to come? It's like really messed me up in a lot of ways, which is one of the reasons why I had to do a creative, I had to get back into music, or I had to do something, because it was a way to start to discipline my mind and discipline my thoughts. And I really think that's a widespread thing happening, is so many people's minds just cannot focus for 2 seconds. And the thing about meditation or prayer, anything, is it's about sitting in stillness and
Right.
silence.
Well, I
And the
think
minute
that
you're there, this whole world can be opened up to you. But I'll tell you, it's really difficult in our modern world to not be distracted, or to even see the value in sitting there and doing that.
if you can't find the time to meditate or find a place to meditate in New York City, God forbid, that's the hardest thing to do, is to find a place to meditate. Precognition should be taken with a grain of salt. Most of the time, the scenarios I've ever gotten were completely benign. Like, you
Mhm.
can't fucking show me the goddamn lottery numbers. Like, it's just all, but like yesterday I had a vision of almost like a ranch house with a mule in front of it, and I'm like, what the fuck? I have no idea why my brain has decided to flash on a ranch house, a blue ranch house with a mule in front of it. It makes no
Interesting.
sense whatsoever. And some random figure sitting on the porch who I couldn't make out, but typical ranch hands, I guess. But the rabbit hole, or the sort of the you'll fall into this dark pit if you panic about any of it. Like my
Hmm.
mother did with that one dream. She wouldn't even tell me because she thought, I don't know, maybe I'm projecting here, but it seemed like she thought that simply by spelling it out, that it invites it into her reality.
Exactly.
But you
I
can't do
know.
that. It's a bad news for anybody who wants to evolve to have this ability, because we will keep denying it to ourselves if we fear it.